Oh, you know this is going to be good. It's a Fleischmann model in HO scale. This one is a BR94 from the Deutsche Reichsbahn and is catalogue number 4092 in the old Fleischmann range. It's in the livery of the Deutsche Reichsbahn in era 4, around about the 1970s thereabouts. And there were many different variations of this locomotive produced by Fleischmann right back into the 1970s, and production continued until around about 2004. This is one of the later editions, and I believe it was produced sometime in the 90s or maybe early 2000s. It looks in very good condition. The box has got some shelf wear, but it's not too bad. But I'm really looking forward to having a look at this locomotive, so let's get it out and we'll check it out. Well, it's definitely a fantastic looking locomotive already, and this is a very iconic steam locomotive from Deutsche Reichsbahn. It was originally produced as the Prussian T16.1, predominantly for heavy freight duties. There were many of these produced, I think 1,200 thereabouts, and they were all built by 1924 for either Prussian State Railways or the DRG. After World War II, only around 250 remained, and they became the core of the East German Deutsche Reichsbahn fleet. And this one has the computer numbering system 941346-9, so that dates it after 1970. And these steam locomotives continued on until the early 1980s when they were withdrawn, although there are some in preservation. So let's have a closer look at this model and see what we've got here. So this is quite a heavy model, we'll give it away later on, but it is a plastic body on a metal chassis. It does look in absolutely fantastic condition. It is a second-hand model, and I'll tell you how much this model is worth in the UK market towards the end of this video. But for now, let's have a look at the front of the locomotive, and it does look as though we've got lighting on those. We've got these little markers here which are always breaking off. The smoke box door is got some nice detail on it and a very clear number, and we've also got the overhead flashes as you'd expect from a steam locomotive of this era. The buffer beam in red has got some rivet detail, although it has the slot with the coupling hanging out the front. I guess being a tank engine and used on freight, you would be running this tender first, so having a coupling here makes sense, but it does compromise the looks on the front of the locomotive. It does have a lot of articulation as well, and we have metal buffers here as well, which look really good. And here in the corners we have some steps coming down in red. Now they always break off as well, but it's good that these are still on. And we have this part here hanging out the front of the piston block. As we start to have a look down the side of this locomotive, you can see all the fine detail moulded into the boiler, and we have these extra parts. All this pipe work is extra plastic pieces which have been moulded separately and added on, as well as this tank up on the roof. It all looks really good, highly detailed, and I love the fact that you can see underneath the boiler here too. And we even have some rivet detail inside there on the chassis block. Looking down the side of the tank, we've got some rivet detail and some printing here. These are very clear and nicely crisp. And as we come to the cab, we've got some more details here. This pipe work going up here, another overhead flash, and a lot of rivet detail around the windows, flush fit glazing, and some more electrical flashes up here too. Up on the cab roof, we've got a whole bunch of rivet detail which looks really good, and a little pipe, or maybe that's a chimney or something up there. And looking down at the top of the boiler, we do have a bit of a moulding mark here on top of the smoke box, but because there's so much stuff on top of this locomotive, you don't see the rest of it. So that looks really good from above. And I like the hatches and rivet detail on top of the tanks. And also here you can see in the moulding we have these little handrails added on. Now they're very delicate and they stick out from the side of the locomotive but look really good, as does this part at the back which has some indication of wood grain. And the bunker here has got a nice amount of coal, it looks pretty cool. And we also have the wooden surround with the brackets with rivet detail which looks great as well. And at the back of the cab we have some more windows which are flush fit, and we've got bars moulded into them as well which look great. Down here at the back of the locomotive we've got some more lamps, and again another buffer beam dominated by this slot for the coupling, and these metal buffers as well which also look good. Looking down at the valve gear, this is all metal and it looks really good, very fine, and I love the inserts as well. They look absolutely fantastic. And the wheels are all metal and they're dulled as well, however they are painted red in the middle, and we've even got some detail here on the chassis block between that, you can see that here. And brakes in line with the wheels too, which is fantastic. And here as well there's a whole bunch of detail behind these steps, a couple of tanks at the back and another little hatch there with nice bracket and rivet detail. This side of the locomotive differs in that we've got a lot more pipework at this point underneath the cab. This is all part of the top moulding, has been masked off and painted red, and it's been done really well. Underneath you can see the stud for the additional accessories that Fleischmann offered, and you can see this part here is made of plastic which has got the brakes attached to it, and it's just screwed onto the bottom. and you can see Fleischmann made in Germany there. One of the things I did notice about this locomotive was that it was quite easy to take the cab off. It just pulls up and pulls away like that, and that allows you to see inside here that we do have a bulb for the lights, so not any LEDs unfortunately, but that would be an easy change if you wanted to do that. But it does allow you to see the immense amount of detail at the back of the bunker with the wood and the coal effect, and also the detail on the back of the boiler, which looks great. But there's no detail on the floor of this locomotive in the cab. However, it would be very easy to fit a crew into this, no problem at all. So overall, it is an absolutely fantastic looking locomotive, a huge amount of detail on it, really nicely finished off too, and it's got some really great looking valve gear. Now, I mentioned that it was quite heavy, so let's put this on the scales and then I'll put it on a piece of track and see how it runs. So this locomotive comes in at 324 grams. So here we are on the piece of test track. Its Hornby third radius is normal, and I'm using my H&M controller on 12 volts DC to give it some power. So let's see what happens. Well, no surprises there. It works absolutely perfectly as I would have expected from a model like this. I'm continually surprised about how good Fleischmann models were just towards the end of their production. Obviously now they only do N scale stuff, but their HO stuff when it ended was, I think, world class, and this is definitely testament to it. It's a fantastic looking steam locomotive, this one, which runs perfectly. It had no problems on the third radius track there, even though it's an 010 tank engine. And it's got so much extra little pieces added onto this. I love the buffers, the extra pipework around the boiler, and all the printing is absolutely perfect too. The valve gear looks fantastic as well. So there's so much to love about this, and the only slight fault I maybe have of this locomotive is that it doesn't have directional lights, but I'm probably asking too much of a locomotive which is more than 20 years old now. I think it's actually more than 25 years old. Absolutely incredible, and definitely a wonderful second-hand purchase. And talking of which, the value of this, well, they're still quite high on this steam locomotive. You could expect to pay more than maybe £100, especially for one in this condition, but I think it's absolutely worth it because this definitely stacks up against any locomotive that you could buy from any of the major manufacturers today, save perhaps Markland with their metal models perhaps, but it depends. I'm probably splitting hairs there. So I would definitely recommend this locomotive to you. It would be a great workhorse. It runs great, looks fantastic. What more could you want? Let me know what you think about this locomotive in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts. And if you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really helps this channel. Now I'll put this on the turntable so you can see all the way around. And once again, thanks for watching along with me as I review these models. I really appreciate your time, and I'll see you on the next one.
So model train, model worlds, choo choo, model trains, in tiny worlds, choo choo, model train, model worlds, choo choo, model trains, in tiny worlds, choo choo.